Hey, you guys, welcome back to Level Up with Lori. I hope you guys are having an incredible week. I'm so happy that you are tuning in today because I have this like off the cuff conversation that I want to have because it's a conversation and a topic that tends to come up in a number of my masterminds, in a lot of one on work that I'm doing with clients, and a lot of my coaching containers. And just honestly, in the network marketing world, I think it's this topic that we don't talk about enough. And that's what to do when your leaders on your team start to check out on you. And here's the thing, because I want to have this like really real conversation with you. I want us to like understand that the people on our team, the women on our team, the leaders on our team, whatever they're doing, like it's not about us. It's about them, right? And it's never about us. And I think sometimes we can take other people's activity or inactivity really, really personally, right? Like, especially when it's someone that you've invested a lot of time and energy in. And you know what? Honestly, I've been through this. I've been there. I get it. I feel this in the deepest places in my soul. Trust me. It's like it hurts, right? Like when you have like done everything that you can do for somebody, when you have worked tirelessly with them, like when you know what their hopes and their dreams and you had such big aspirations for them, and all of a sudden you see that they either check out on themselves or, I've had it where like life comes up and they decide that their business is the one thing that they're going to let go. And honestly, quite frankly, this is one of the most frustrating things that I see in this industry is that women are like women way too easily give up on their dreams. Like they have a baby, so they decide that because the baby is the number one priority, which like in brackets, obviously our families are our number one priority, right? They decide because of that they can't do this, right? And I just don't think that A doesn't always equal B, right? Just because something happens, it doesn't mean that you have to give up on what you're building, on what you're doing. Sometimes we're just going to have to dig deep and find different ways and like realign. But it's not, here's what I need you to know. No pep talk that you can give, no snide remark or passive aggressive statement that you're going to make is going to change the course of somebody else's business when they've already made a decision. And it sucks, yes, but the sooner you can like remove your energy to that, the better. Because when we allow our energy to sink because of these things, when we allow other people's actions to have impact on what we do and what we're building inside of our businesses, then there's just no success in that, right? Like it's just going to be a disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. And this is where I see the majority of hustling happening. And we've had this hustling conversation and just where I was in my hustling journey and how I really want to help women break free of this. But you are never going to get off the hustle hamster wheel if you are constantly making up for what your leaders are doing or not doing, or if you're constantly feeling like if you do a little bit more for somebody else that they will get on it, right? Like if I just do this for them, then they'll be able to do this. No, this is where boundaries really play a massive role inside of our businesses. And where when we decide that we are only in control of our own actions, then all of a sudden the rest can fall away. And all of a sudden, what someone does or doesn't do and how that affects your bottom line or doesn't affect your bottom line, or how you're not going to get a promotion unless this or that or whatever, as soon as like you allow that to matter less, you're going to shift your energy in such a way that like it won't really matter because you're going to still be flying inside of your own business because you're doing the things that light you up and you're doing the things that grow your business, right? We have to detach ourselves from what other people do or don't do. It's why one of the major leadership tips that I can give you is to coach to people's actions rather than their words. And what I mean by that, and I know you've heard me say this before, I feel like I've said it a million times, but I do think it bears repeating, is that one of the mistakes I made in the beginning is that I coached to the goals that people told me that they had. And I just assumed that, like me, anybody who puts a goal out into the universe goes full throttle at it. But as it turns out, not everybody. not everybody means what they say. And maybe they meant it in the moment and like, let's like forget it. Even like we can all say things that we mean in the moment and we're caught up in the things and like later it just doesn't seem to have the same importance. But like as a leader, I was constantly trying to drag people over the finish line of their own goals, thinking that if I could do something, that I thought I had the power to help them reach their goals. And what we need to realize as leaders is that we are not in charge of other people's goals. We cannot control other people's success. Okay. And wrapping your energy up and pushing more of yourself into that only leads to burnout. And burnout impacts everything inside of the business that you're building. So, what I want you to coach to is people's actions, right? So, if they're running and they're excited and they're doing all the things, run along with them, be excited with them, goal set with them, build the business together. And if they're walking, even if they say they want to run, you're there as a support, but you're not going to start running with them until they start running themselves. Other women, like let's empower the people on our team and be there as like a resource, but we aren't there to be the ones that are shoving people along the lines, right? It's not good for us, it's not good for them. And ultimately, like I think over the course, like I've done that so many times that I think I actually like had women quit because they couldn't almost meet my expectations, right? Or they couldn't meet the level of energy and drive that I was putting into things. So, hands up if this has ever happened to you. Hands up if you have ever been that leader that has wanted something more for somebody that they have wanted for themselves. And I think that this comes from a really, really good place. Okay. So I want you to know that there's no shame around this, right? Like it's just the people pleasers in the house, we want everybody to achieve everything that they're capable of. And we can see the possibilities for other people that they cannot necessarily see for themselves. And there's no shame or harm in that, but the harm comes to you when you believe that you can build it for somebody else because it's not possible. And the truth is, no one's really guaranteed good leadership in this industry, and no one really actually needs it. The self starters in the world, the people that actually have drive, the people that actually want it, they will figure out a way. Um, they will. They don't actually need you. You're just this like amazing cherry on the top that when they're running, you're running alongside them. Okay. And so, what does this look like inside of your own business? If you're detaching yourself from your leader's energy and you're having some of them check out, how is that not going to impact your bottom line? Because I know you're thinking in your head, okay, that's all well and great, Lori, but like I need XYZ in order to achieve ABC. And that is one of the elements inside of the network marketing industry that, like, quite honestly, frustrates the hell out of me. But I think that we need to move to this place where we're shifting away from that. And don't get me wrong, I don't like leaving money on the table ever. So if there's ever these little like loop, like these are like little I's that I can dot and T's that I can cross inside the comp plan in order to maximize my paycheck, absolutely, I'm going to keep my eye on that. Absolutely, I'm going to work on that. But I'm never going to allow that to change the leader that I am, to change the business owner that I am, because it doesn't make sense from the long. You're playing the long game here. You're not playing the month to month. You're not playing the week to week. You're not playing the day to day. You are in this. You're building a business. You're building an organization. And you couldn't F this up if you tried, unless you continue to burn yourself out by trying to control everything, trying to like be the one that drives absolutely everything inside of your own business and your own organization and your entire team. So if you can detach your energy, what you're going to find is that the people that are running, they're going to energize you, right? They're going to excite you. They're going to bring more ideas to the table, and they're going to naturally gravitate towards you because you're building your business and leading from the front and leading out loud and simply sharing what you're doing and setting the example for everybody else. Some are going to follow it, some are going to exceed it, and some are going to ignore it completely. That's okay. What you're also going to be doing when you are loving your own business, when you are releasing the control of everybody else's business, is you're going to have more energy inside of your own organization. So you're naturally going to be bringing more business builders into your team. which means you're going to be finding new leaders. You're going to have constant growth. And I always say that some of that, like the most potent growth out there, are brand new business builders coming into the organization who are all lit up, who are all excited, who are all in that introductory phase of introducing the products to their family and friends and kind of getting themselves started and kicked off. So if you can release, like, and I've seen it so many times where we sink ourselves by getting really consumed by what's not happening inside of our business, right? Not our own businesses, somebody else's, something that we have zero control over. We have to release that control. We have to release the like thinking that if we could just do one more thing, then what we desire to happen will happen. Keep going, keep loving your own business, keep being the leader that you know that you are, that I know that you are. Other people's actions are not a reflection of you. And I need you to repeat that to yourself every single day until you believe it to be true. Because I think a lot of the time we're like, okay, well, if they're failing, and I mean, it's our own definition of failing, meaning they're not hitting the goals that they set up for themselves, but they're also not doing the shit, you guys. They're not doing the things that you know they need to do, that they know that they need to do, that you've shown them how to do. So that has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. Because again, we do not necessarily need an upline holding our hand in order to find success in this business, in this industry. There are a million resources out there that if someone doesn't have a really great upline, then they can go and find those on their own. We also, as business owners, can't use our upline as an excuse either at the end of the day. We cannot be like, well, they didn't do this for me, so then like, blah, blah, blah. That's just one of those bullshit excuses that keeps you small, that keeps your business floundering, right? It's not about them. It's always about you. Whether it's you as a business builder or you as a leader, oh my goodness, stop looking outside of yourself to like justify anything. And stop trying to build other people's businesses. Focus on your own, stay in your own lane, run with the people that are running, be lit up by the people that are lit up, feel your energy, like allow them to give you energy rather than allowing the people that are the like piranhas inside of our businesses to to suck our energy from our soul. Okay. We've all been there as leaders. And this is one of the number one things that leads to burnout inside of our industry, because we're trying to do it all. And not only are we trying to do it all for ourselves, but we're trying to do it all for other people as well. Okay. Release other people's shit. It is not on you and it's not serving you. Okay, you guys, that was just like a really quick little rant this morning. Came from a couple conversations that I was having with clients, and I thought it would be valuable here for you. Okay. I hope you're having an incredible day. If you love this episode, I would be forever grateful if you could tag me on Instagram at Lori Irvin Coaching. If you could head to the review section and give me a review. I'm really trying to build this podcast up to be a resource for women in network marketing. And those two things go a really, really long way. And also sharing this in your team groups as a resource to other women. Sometimes it's easier to share resources than to have those hard truth conversations with other people. So if there's a topic that you want me to rant on and riff on, send me a message. I'm more than happy to do that. And I'm more than happy to be that like reality conversation that other people often, like as leaders, these are the kinds of things I wouldn't have necessarily said to my team back in the day because I'm not a tough love human, right? I can be honest with you guys here because I'm not I'm not like hurting anyone's feelings. I'm just speaking truth. So anyways, you guys, love you tons. Make sure that you share, make sure that you go ahead and give some reviews. I hope you have an incredible day and I will see you inside the next episode.